The lighting is bad. Nope, still bad. Here we go. I am in the Royal Palace. Top of the morning to ya. It's November, and I have things to say. This town smells like mushrooms, and fall is here, thankfully, and we are clear of this tyranny of heat that the world is very lax about. So, what are some points to make? Number one, the use of the ellipsis is absolutely offensive to me because nobody ever uses it in the correct way. It's always like people say what they mean, but then they have the like ... like a giant fuck you to your face, like, and I'm also thinking of something else, like, won't you guess what it is? So my psychiatrist, lovely lady, ballet queen, she uses the ellipsis a lot in her text messages, and she's like, I asked her to refill a prescription before I went on a trip to visit my brother, and I asked her, like, the day of, which was stupid of me, but she was like, Liam, ... send me the pharmacy number, which you know the ... she just wanted to say, you're a fucking idiot, but she didn't, because she's a professional. And after I was, like, giving her all the information, I was like, super sorry, and like, I'm sorry, she was like, enjoy your trip, ... And I was just thinking in my head, like, wait, I don't know if that's, because I was an English major in college, and the use of the ellipsis is supposed to suggest continuity, like you're not done. So maybe she just does that because she's like, this conversation isn't over. Turning off notifications. Do not disturb, bitch. Oh, Siri, please stop. I hope the audio didn't get messed up from our virtual assistant. So what else is here? What else is new in the days? Yeah, the town smells like mushrooms. Facebook is a social experiment. They're selling your information. Social media in general is killing us all. We're living in a vortex now that is like instant connectivity, which is fine. Like, I guess that's what evolution does. Like, it makes you deal with your environment in different ways. But I digress. It would be much preferable to be in a natural world than in a fully curated online world where we haven't quite understood the psychological effects of it yet. What else? What other points did she want to talk about today? The fact that social media stars has become the new, like, reality stars, and imagine that, like, a medium that was completely pioneered on the glamorization of the everyday person has now made its full transition to an online culture where we can do the same, but you have the comfort of doing it on your own, and you don't have to trust a cameraman or an editor to put your life together as you see fit. You know, I can't with reality TV because, number one, it's stupid. Like, there are just dumb people. And we're already facing a crisis where intelligence is not as valued in society as it once previously was. And maybe that's just a natural oscillation of how things are going. Sorry, I look like a crazy person. Like, I just, my neighbor is pulling out, and these windows are wide. Also, wore this to the park today, which is super silly, because there's a lot of Republicans there, and I could just hear them whispering, like, the F word under their breath, which is fine, you know. You're old, and you will die soon, so trade-off, not so much. Yeah, I always tell my parents to vote blue, but they're rich, so they're not going to. Warren is about to tax the rich, which, like, yeah, please do, okay? Tell those motherfuckers to, like, give more back to society because you earn more and that's your privilege, and you should be able to part with your money to be able to better people's lives, and insist that they get medical care and insist that they get education. No, let's be real for a minute. Education is a privilege, okay? Not everybody has the opportunity or the finances or the time to be able to go to school, and I'm thankful for that opportunity, even though I dropped out of college, because college is another thing. College is a scam, but I'll make a whole different video on that. At least American colleges, and it's a monopoly. But anyway, with the advent of the internet, you can now stream whatever information you want at the flick of a button. So that's pretty great. What else? What else is pertinent? Video games are getting worse. Entertainment in general is like on a skew. It's like on a weird downward spiral, where it's like we don't care that much about what the quality of the content is, as long as it keeps coming and keeps feeding us through like the entertainment machine. Hollywood used to be this big, like, not factory, but like more of a museum of like, we're going to make a film and it's going to be iconic and it's going to be stand still in time, and we're going to put so much effort into it because it's important to document history through film, I think. You know, name a quote from movies movies are that old. Name a quote from a movie like from 50 years ago, like play it again. I don't even think he said that. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, or I'll be back, or what is it? Your mother sucks cocks in hell. Great quote, by the way, Reagan. Spot on. We really must, as a society, kind of at least think of art as a reflection of the time that this isn't anything original, but think of art as a reflection of the time it was created. So if we're having all these movies about like fucking teeny boppers and like repeating the John Waters experiment of actually not telling a story, but like capturing a mood, which is cool, like movies can do that, but John Waters, you suck. Except for Breakfast Club, like, that movie is okay. It's not a great, like, it's a story, you know? It's not, like, anything special, and people, like, worship it. Oh, God, I remember in school where people were, like, worshiping that movie as, like, iconic cinema. And I was just, like, fucking watching, like, what is it, Black Swan and, like, other weird, edgy movies, and was like, y'all are stupid. Like, why don't you go and check out some, like, 90s, I don't know why I said that. Why don't you go and watch, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, or what's like a quality film from that era that was totally overshadowed by the success of John Waters. I don't really know any 80s dramas, surprisingly. Anyway, how long is this? I digress, but what was I talking about? Movies as a quality entertainment source of, like, cataloging and acting as sort of a time capsule of the time. We don't care anymore because it's so instantaneous. Streaming has made us spoiled in the fact that we will forget about what we watched 2 weeks ago because there's something new on the verge. And, like, that's really sad to me because I remember when I was little and I was going to, like, Blockbuster and stuff, it was always an event, and, like, you could pick out a movie by scanning the wall and be like, is this going to be good? Is this going to be bad? Like, I have the freedom to judge. Nowadays, and I do this too, we just go to Rotten Tomatoes, we go to Metacritic, and we look up, is this movie good? And we see, no, trash, don't watch, or good movie, thumbs up. Netflix has changed film criticism, and that's sad, because people are now passing poop and calling it great. Stranger Things is fine, but it is also nostalgia crack. And just watch, you know, any movie from the 80s. You will thank me. Also, the nostalgia boom is completely capitalist and exploitative. Argue on that, sir or madam. Time and time again, we're told that history repeats itself and trends come back. No, we're actually playing to the fact that 30-year-old millennials who grew up in the 80s, 35-year-old millennials who grew up in the 80s are now, like, financially comfortable enough to spend their money on shit like It, even though It was a 90s movie, on It, and what else? All these reboots are completely exploitative. Okay, a good reboot that does something different, let's think about this. Perhaps, mayhaps, adaptations, like, of international films. Those remakes are fine. Reboots, like, let's think. What is a good reboot that actually did something different? Evil Dead was a solid re-entry. It wasn't original, but it was also playing with the kind of legend of it, so that was kind of cool. Films need to be taken more seriously these days. I don't like how Netflix can pump out a movie like Tall Girl or like fucking series. Television series take a long time to produce. Not for Netflix. Netflix will take a fucking shooting schedule and just be like, we're going to boom, 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 get the worst, hottest actors we can find, put them on screen, the kids will fucking love it. Okay? And that pisses me off because it's such a slap in the face to people who actually work on their stuff and really are trying to be dedicated to what their craft is and make something inspiring and artistic, and just it's fucked up that people get away with that. Hello, neighbor. It's fucked up that people get away with that, and the Oscars and like other award shows are a joke now because you have people like Cardi B getting fucking awards for lyricism when, number one, her lyrics are not that good. They're clever, okay, but they're not anything to write home about. Like, I get these coins like Mario. Great. Okay, good for you. I'm glad that you do. Run this shit like cardio. Awesome. You're playing on your name. Is it your real name? Girl, your parents hated you. I don't even know what the rest of your family is called. I know it's like Jameson and like fucking Crown Royal or something, but girl, come on. And we're venerating like trash. Which is, I'm also like, I love social mobility and the fact that people can work hard in America and actually have the hope of being able to switch classes. Like this, we're not in India here. And I won't even touch that because that's not my culture and I don't really understand it. But social classes are, who knows? They're just a fixed way to categorize people. And this is why I always think like a communist society doesn't make sense, or a socialist society. I would call myself a democratic socialist, but a complete socialist society doesn't work because people are greedy and people like to like stab each other in the fucking backs, and in a perfect world we would all love and support each other and wave at our neighbors, but we're just not there yet. We will be one day, okay? Mark my words. When the singularity hits TikTok, we're going to be all plugged in with each other and be able to read each other's thoughts. We're not going to be able to, or we are going to think shitty thoughts about each other, but we're not going to be able to hide it, and we're going to have to learn to get along and cooperate with one another because the earth is dying, and if we don't figure out what to do soon, we're not going to be able to walk outside and see trees and animals and that bitch from Walmart who is clearly just got her hair cut and is very proud of it, but it kind of looks like she cut her own hair, but that's fine because I cut my own hair and salons be expensive. But altogether, we have a duty to be able, or to just respect our planet and our entertainment. Because think about this, an entire generation that grew up on, I don't want to talk about that, never mind. A generation that's raised on a certain amount of entertainment or quality of entertainment will be reflected in how they behave. And if look, Vine isn't evil or anything, or like, well, maybe it is, but aliens literally gave us this technology, and they're wondering, like, what are they going to do with it? Like, are they going to, if they are choosing to help one another, we're going to give them the secret to saving the earth. But if they don't, if they abuse it with things like TikTok and Instagram models and Reddit comment boards, which are helpful most of the time. 4chan, oops, should bleep that out. Kill me, 4chan. Come on, fucking dox me, man. I'm not afraid of a bunch of internet nerds. I will die with fucking dignity. fuck you guys, okay? Y'all support yaoi, or not yaoi. Y'all support pedophilia. Y'all support fucking bullying. Y'all are assholes, okay? And the world would be better off wiped of any kind of 4chan lurker who's malevolent. You know, I'm sure there are good people on there. But, oh god, cam models. That's another thing I want to talk about, but we'll get there. Look, I partake in watching cam models because it's interesting for me. I like the idea that I can chat with somebody and see them, because I'm a voyeur, in Russia or Yugoslavia or Czech Republic. I think that's cool. I think that the technology that we have, and to be able to do that and to talk to somebody who has different perspective, different culture, is interesting. And yes, I will pay for it because they work hard, and it's sex workers deserve finances and respect too, because we live in a society that kind of treats, or at least American society, we treat it as like something that should be kept behind closed doors. Sexuality is something that pervades our entire life, which is why gay people and trans people just want acceptance, and that's not that hard to give it to them. Just let them be able to. If you think about it, people are like, oh, well, sex should be kept in the bedroom. You're a fucking idiot, because sex involves almost everything that we do. Procreation, what our moods are, how stable we are. Sex is pervasive to a lot of society and why people do certain things. If we didn't have that motivation of like impressing the same sex or the opposite sex, we wouldn't do it. There's an episode of Futurama about this. We wouldn't get a lot done. Or maybe we would, but it would be an asexual society, which asexual people are valid, but also y'all don't, I don't want to say that. You guys struggle the same amount that a teenager who can't masturbate struggles, okay? A rights, okay. Gay people and trans people, LGBT, APC, Y, you guys need to respect our motherfucking right to be whores, or our fucking right to be just outrageous. Not outrageous, because those are the worst kind of people, like gay or not, queer or not. Outrageous, annoying people deserve to be in a society with all one another, to just see how horrible it is. You like think about the Real Housewives of Orange County. Think about the Real Housewives of Orange County and put them all in like a pit, or no, in a like territory together, and just see how that town functions. It wouldn't, okay? They would all be fucking annoying and competitive for attention. All of their husbands would fucking murder them, and then it would just become a gay society. I want to talk about, oh god, what's in the news right now? I want to talk about the fires in California and how, if this is our government like fucking with poor people, as they do, because we live in an oligarchy, stop. Like fucking, no one deserves to have their homes burned down or their power shut off or denied medical care because they can't afford it, or I'm sorry, because the power is cut off. Just fucking give them what they need, okay? Like, stop rerouting resources to our fucking military budget and invest in water or synthesize water. That's possible, by the way. They don't want to tell you about that. I'm sure it takes a lot of resources, actually. I'm not educated on that. But just fucking be able to contain the mess that you're making. And that's also one of the biggest issues with society today, is that we're creating all this waste, chemical, physical waste, but we can't clean up after ourselves. It's like a fucking child that is, and what is her name? Greta Thurnberg, a martyr, because she's putting herself out there and trying to educate people. She should be enjoying her childhood, but no, she's pissed off because this older generation is fucking clueless, and we're just trained to consume, and people, that's why people, I think that's really why capitalists hate environmentalism, because it is the notion that we shouldn't be spending more money, we shouldn't be consuming more, we should be recycling our products, and producing less food waste. It's so fucked up that America's one of the biggest problem in America is food waste, and there are countries that are literally starving. Africa is going to have the last laugh, motherfucker. When they start to develop more technology and like climate shit, they're going to be on top. Like, and everyone's going to be like, oh, I want to move to Black Africa. Because I was going to say, black people have it bad for so long. Y'all are going to have the last laugh, okay? I guarantee you, okay? And all those motherfucking racists are going to be confined to, this is fucked up, but like a concentration camp where they can't hurt anybody. Neo-Nazis will be alive, because I don't believe in genocide, but I do believe in subjecting people to their own horrors. Think about, I don't know. Anyway, this video is too long, but thank you for listening.